Welcome back to Switch to Linux. We are going to do another discussion on web browsers. This is the mid-year web browser review. We did some earlier, and of course, Firefox changed around a little bit, and even there was some weird stuff going on at the time that I had talked about it. There's a few other ones that are out there, a few other commentaries we can make, but we just wanted to come on and chat about it. And where's Ricky? Ricky's one that asked for this, so I don't know. Maybe I'll ping him and be like, dude, where are you? It looks like he's on Discord, but he's not active on Discord. He's sleeping on Discord. All right. Anyway, that's right.
Yeah, a lot of them do that.
All right. Well, anyway. Ice Cream Man has arrived. Yeah, unfortunately, I have a lot of ice cream in the freezer now, and so I might start getting fat again. And then I'll eat it all up and then not make it for a while. I had to make some for a dinner party, and so unfortunately we didn't use it all, and so it all comes back home with me, and so ice cream. Too much. But yeah, Kazang does not seem to like bacon. I don't know why. Pigs are among the most intelligent animals. So, I mean, they might be tasty. I mean, humans are the most intelligent animals. Hannibal Lecter likes them. I mean,
Yeah.
whoa, that went dark. Oh boy. Yates Network says the later starter time. I don't know. No, the starter time is same as always. I don't know. Strawberry Shortcake over on Discord, and Tiger Shark also on Discord. Hello to you guys over there, guys and girls, whoever you all are. Of course, over on the internet, everybody's non-binary, I guess, unless you tell me otherwise. Let's see. Browsers, both Apple and Windows, use their file managers as browsers. Has been that way from Windows 95 to today. 32-bit is dead. Yeah, all right. Let's see. 120 is about to expire, so when is Linux going to... Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Just install LibreWolf via app image like it, but it can't really copy and paste, especially paste things into websites while using it. I thought I could, but maybe I haven't tried. I don't know. You guys use LibreWolf?
I do.
You use it? All right. How's it work?
Yeah, it does have some clunks to it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I've never heard of it.
Really? It's like the Firefox that's pre-hardened Firefox.
Yeah, I don't know what they harden in it, but they make it pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to use it like a normal browser because they
It
have
breaks
triple A
Windows.
stuff, which is really good, honestly, because it just means that the tracker stuff that you don't even know is there is actually not tracking you. So that's that. We're a little bit more relaxed today. I've been working on getting the super secret project to a really big stage to completion on Saturday, and that means more prep this week. So I didn't even actually get work done today either. So, but if I'm done, I will announce the super secret project to the supporters this upcoming week, and then the rest of you guys maybe the week afterwards. So you can hear about the super secret project. Of course, if you jump onto the Thursday calls, you already know a little bit about the super secret project, although not as much as you may think. But anyway, how's it going there, Mark? Raise your hand unmuted, ready to answer and speak. Finish up. Remote call. All right. Well, I'm not sure how to raise my hand, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, just jump on whenever you can. Hey, now you're on. Yep. Yeah, now you're good, Mark. How's it going? Okay, let's see. We had a little bacon discussion there. So, some people not liking bacon. I don't know. Let's see. There's some discussion on text, talk to text. There's some packages on Linux you can try, but they're still very experimental. Anybody work with any of those at all?
Not really.
No. I tried to get one working once. I did not have success, but I didn't have a lot of time to make it successful either. FairNOS is on. Greetings. Who dislikes bacon? I know, right? We're all talking about bacon like. I'm not a fan of turkey bacon. Somebody accused me of cannibalism if I ate it. Yeah, well, I'm not. I can't say I've ever tried turkey bacon because to me, it just doesn't seem it's not bacon.
It's not natural.
Yeah, it's not made of turkey.
It's like turkey burgers.
Yeah, I want pig. Give me the unclean beast. Let's see. Firefox 89 looks great, but looks can be deceptive. There we are. First time caught one of their lives. Well, hello, Daryl. Greetings. FairNOS says Firefox 89 looks bad, but can look good with some simple tweaks. All right. I am very, very indifferent on the look design. Like, I still completely hate that giant URL bar that hasn't changed. I could care less if the tabs float or if they're tabs. Don't honestly.
I haven't upgraded yet, so nothing's floating over here.
As long as the keyboard shortcuts are the same, then I don't care.
Yeah, Mark, what's up?
Who?
Whoa, we lost you, Mark. You jumped on real fast and disappeared.
LibreWolf hasn't updated either.
There you go.
Yep,
Can you
there
hear
go,
me?
Mark. Yep, go ahead.
I don't know what happened there, but okay. Who cares about tabs?
Yeah, we're losing you, Mark. You're going in and out.
Okay.
More out than in.
He's floating on a tab.
Yeah. You're floating on a Firefox tab, Firefox 89 tab.
Float.
What do they mean by
Floating
Did you look at the video I did? Was it Tuesday? I didn't do one yesterday.
Yeah, but I didn't quite get all of it.
Yeah, basically, I mean, it's pretty much the same. Hold on, let me put up. Hold on, let me see here.
Phantom power.
Basically, it's instead of it's just a CSS style that the background tabs, instead of having a bar with the color, they're just transparent. I mean, that's really, and I guess they don't really connect either, so they just kind of float above the URL bar, which I could care less. Honestly, I don't think it looks bad.
They cover up the URL bar?
No. They float above the URL bar. North of the URL bar. So it's not, I mean, it's you're either going to like it or hate it, I guess, or be indifferent. So I guess
this is the kind of the stuff that's actually going to kill off Mozilla.
Well,
Should not be the stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the theme design is going to kill off Mozilla. I think being woke is going to kill off Mozilla.
They need to take a break and actually go out and find out what people want in a web browser rather than just throw mud at it and hope it sticks.
It must be nice being a normie to be worried about how tabs look. I'm more concerned with the settings that are specific to get more privacy and security set up for my clients, because I specifically go in and configure my client browsers for maximum privacy and security. And still give them room to be able to use it like a normal person would, but be more private at least, much more so.
Yeah, and really the biggest problem that they did with the latest Firefox 89 is enabling that DNS over HTTPS by default. Now, a lot of people were commenting that in the comments. Some people didn't even know it was there. Like, have you been under a rock for the last 10 versions? Some of you... it was not enabled by default. Maybe you're on a network with the Canary domain set up. So they slowly shifted it. So for a while, when they first introduced it and enabled it, like they first introduced it a long time ago, you had to manually enable it. And then they started to give you the pop-up, would you like to enable it? And then they started giving you a pop-up saying, hey, it's enabled, and you have the option to disable it. Now they're not even giving you the pop-up. It's simply enabled by default. And it is absolutely stupid. They need to stop doing that because there are more issues and more problems with Firefox DNS over HTTPS than they solve. Go ahead, Mark.
They also removed one of the key settings, and I can't remember what it exactly was, but they've removed some of the settings that make it more private specifically. I cannot put my finger on what that is.
I didn't notice that, but maybe I missed it.
Between the earlier versions and this one.
Yeah, they did remove they did remove the customize from the basic hamburger menu. So now you have to right click on the toolbar, which is kind of annoying, but at least it's still there. But for people like me, I didn't even know you could right click the toolbar and find it. So when I first was doing the preview,
I've always done that. I always right click. I didn't know you could do it in the hamburger menu.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, because it's like, that's the settings menu. That's where I expect to find everything relating to settings.
Correct.
And
That's
so
usually something you go.
Agreed.
Yeah,
That's
taking
something
it
usually
out and
goes-
just putting all these different things in haphazard places, it's like a disorganized mess. All right,
That's one of the things, though, you go to once and you set everything the way you like it, and then you forget about it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mark. Are you good? All right, I think you're good. All right. So, yeah, somebody's pest is giving me a cute picture of a dog in a coffee cup. Are you drinking that dog? Or is he making your drink?
Oh, yuck.
A bit of CSS with Vivaldi can make floating tabs well. All right, there you go. So anything else we want to say about Firefox, I guess?
Yeah, one thing that I would advise the Linux distributions is they can pre-configure the browser. My advice would be for them to pre-configure Firefox to turn off the DNS or HTTPS by default.
Yeah.
And have the user enable it manually afterwards if they want to.
All right. Let's talk about audio. I kicked my audio interface and a light went off. All right. Looks good. Looks good on my end. If it doesn't sound good on your end. All right. So yeah, we can go ahead and configure stuff. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe it won't. Hey, maybe that'll be the next cool thing Linux Mint does, since they seem to be one of the few distros that listens to their users. I know we got Farron on. He listens to his users. Are you listening, Farron? If you put Firefox in there, tweak that thing. Disable that DNS over HTTPS. I guess unless you really think it's amazing.
Is this something that's disabled in LibreWolf? So it functions like it's supposed to?
I don't know. Well, the problem is that Firefox believes DNS over HTTPS makes the internet more secure, but it really doesn't. In fact, it has more. There's more concern with it. You know, which is why, like, the government issued a concern warning about it.
The only way that it makes it more secure is that the ISP can no longer interfere with the DNS traffic, but it takes away the local control.
Yeah, it takes away your ISP's control, but then it gives everybody in the whole world to Cloudflare.
Yeah,
that is a net loss.
Yeah, make it.
That's a monopoly,
and it prevents you from doing anything local. So on my local network here, my router controls all my blocking scripts. It blocks Facebook tracking cookies. It blocks nasty sites on the internet. It blocks session replay. DNS over HTTPS allows all of that indiscriminately. Yay!
Yeah, make the whole world use one DNS server. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, and it's one that, don't forget, Cloudflare is the company that banned somebody off the site, and then they woke up, well, you know, I just woke up in the morning and just decided not to have that site on the internet. I mean, you can not like that particular site, but that's a little capricious for filtering the entire world through one platform. DNS over HTTPS should be something that is difficult to enable. It's something that should be enabled only for the people who specifically need it. It should not be something automatic. LibreWolf, it looks like they do not enable it by default. So that's my guess.
Don't ever do that. Don't make a major change that's going to affect a domain owner without consulting with them and letting them know what you're doing. Communication is so key in business, and it's just a very poor practice to just willy-nilly go doing and changing stuff without letting them know what is going on. It's not cool.
All right. Anything else on Firefox?
It's on fire.
It's on fire. All right. I went over to Alternative 2, and the bad news is most web browsers suck, the good news is there are over 200 alternatives on Alternative 2. So let's talk about Vivaldi next, because that seems to be the next one that's on the list, one of the top free ones. So as a brief summary, Vivaldi is mostly open source, but the UI elements are proprietary, which begs some interesting questions. So some people have hated it because of that. Some people are like, I don't really care. It's something that works. Dan, I think you're a regular Vivaldi user.
I use Vivaldi because it allows me to participate in streams like this one, or use Zoom, or use StreamYard, where I don't have such good success with Firefox doing that. Now that Firefox will not send information to my printer to print it, like printing labels. Vivaldi will. I put the address for the printing label in the address bar, poof, the page pops up, push print, label comes out of printer.
Yeah, they also added a built-in integrated email client as well. So if you want to just check email directly on there, you can, which is an interesting thing.
That's been my main use for Vivaldi, is stuff you got to have Google for.
Yeah. Tiger Shark, going back to Firefox for a second, why Firefox wants everyone on DNS over HTTPS is because they like internet censoring, and Cloudflare can do it for them. All right. Where's my hat? It's back there. Where's my hat? All right. So, yeah, interesting.
It makes me wonder if actually Cloudflare gave Mozilla some cash to do this. I mean, none of the other browsers are doing this, are they?
Which one?
The DNS thing
DNS
with Cloudflare.
I think Google Chrome is seeking to implement it soon. I don't know if they're going through Cloudflare or probably their own, because Google has their own DNS as well. So that'll be what's more terrifying. We can have a poll on that. Is it more terrifying to have the entire world's DNS routing through Cloudflare or through Google?
There's a difference.
I think Google gets enough information as it is.
Over on Discord, Pest says, wife wants to know what is it about Chrome that is so bad? We'll hit Chrome after we hit Vivaldi. So we will, if Pest's wife is hanging around, or if you're just conveying information, we'll hit that one after we talk Vivaldi a little bit more. Anybody else want to chime in about Vivaldi?
Vivaldi is familiar for those who used to use the old Opera browser up until version 16, I think, and then they sold it to China, and they changed the UI and everything. So Vivaldi is made by the original crew behind that browser, so it behaves much like the old, but the UI is closed source, so I'm not touching it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really the biggest downside of Vivaldi, is if you want pure FOSS, it's not your option. Despite it is packaged in many Linux distributions. So I use Vivaldi just sparingly. I use it for video conferencing on my media PC when we need to do video conferencing through something like Google Meet or anything like that. So that's actually what I'm using Vivaldi for. So that's kind of where I'm at.
But today,
that's kind of how I use it, Tom. I use it just the same way you do. If I got to do over the internet communications.
Yeah, absolutely.
I use Vivaldi for everything media driven, and also marketing and any kind of thing to do with my business as far as getting it out there on social networks. It is an excellent browser. It is probably my favorite browser today, with ease, I believe it is. And I love the floating tab personally, being on the side. I actually set that to where it will go inward. It'll recess, I guess you'd call it. I love the options. I've got notes. I can take brief notes if I need to remember something that I'm doing in the browser. Because when you have ADHD, that's super useful, and I don't know why I don't use it, but I'm going to start. It's got the downloads there, so everything's easily accessible and convenient. Also, they have really good settings. They've got tons of settings. You really don't have to touch any of it if you don't want to, but you can set it up specifically to look and function pretty much how you want. There's a lot more customizability in the browser. For me, I care far more about customizing my browser experience than I do the desktop, because I'm in the browser all day, all day, every day. So,
yeah,
I love Vivaldi.
But one thing that Vivaldi is doing that the old Opera browser did not. They are releasing the source code, source code, even the UI, also the UI, even though it is closed source, it is a proprietary license, but they do give out the source code. And that's
that's
I think
good.
why maybe a lot of the it is packaged in a lot of places.
Yeah, so
I would love to see them go.
I guess for the most part, it's considered by many people trustworthy enough, particularly when there's not a lot of other options. And Vivaldi, of all things, it does work well in that it does media, it does codecs, all these types of things. Can you do, anybody know, can you do like Amazon Prime and Netflix and Disney Plus? Can you do those on it or not?
Yeah, as far as I know, you can.
Okay.
As long as you can obtain the wide vine codec, it'll work fine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you should be able to do Amazon Prime or something. If I go to Amazon.com, I could share my screen if I knew how. Let's see.
You need DRM Amazon or Google Wi-Fi plug-in.
Yeah, I mean it's certainly possible, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean I'm signing in now. Everything's smooth, smooth as butter. Yeah.
All right. Anything else on Vivaldi?
No, I think
let's
most of us love Vivaldi. I think that's going to be most people's favorite. Yeah.
Let's appease the past and talk Chrome. Google Chrome, of course, #1 browser created by Google, connected to Google. You can basically think of it as like that alien thing, an alien that jumps out and attaches itself to your face. That would be Google Chrome. It's just,
the elephants in the room.
Everything. It's just like, and so the good part about it, of course, is everything works on it, and it's like nothing irritates me more than a company's like, well, try Google Chrome. No, try building a website that works without Google Chrome, you morons, and so there's times you might need to use it for some stupid, silly thing, although I would use it as little as conceivably possible. I only use Google Chrome for doing client testing or other weird odds and ends things that need to be done. So here's the downside. Particularly starting a few versions back, I don't know, 10, 20 or so versions back. I say a few, but that's how fast Chrome moves. They started automatically logging you into the browser automatically if you logged into any Google service at all. And most people didn't even know it was doing this. And so what happens is, when you search the internet, if the web browser has such capabilities, they have a very easy ability to record anything and everything you're doing. And Google does that. They will log anything and everything you do, and then they tie it to your Google account. And then they use that information against you, or to sell to you, which is probably one and the same for a person that does not particularly want to be marketed to. And if you want to get more tinfoily about it, watch The Selfish Ledger. The Selfish Ledger points out a 3-part plan where the first part, this was an internal Google document that leaked. And so but it was a video, and the idea of it is first we get a mass, basically a majority of people think 70% and everybody can go about society as normal. So the idea first is to get the vast majority of people using their products. Okay, great. Right now, Google Chrome is the #1 browser by far. The next one up is only like 10% or 15% or so of the market share. And so now they have everybody on it. The next step is to start changing around, pushing, and navigating the product in order to poke and prod at people to get the information that is missing that they want about them. And then the third part of their plan, now that everybody is so used to this model, is to push people in the direction that they themselves want you to go. Because the idea is, if with marketing and through marketing, if you market to somebody enough, then you will change their opinions irregardless of if something is true or not. And that's really what they do. And so the idea is basically produce a hive mind of the world. And that's kind of what we start to see happening in many places. Anytime you're using Google Chrome, you are helping move this thing forward. And so you should not use Google Chrome under any circumstance unless it's absolutely the last resort. You can on things that are like, you need to use Google Chrome. More often than not, the open source Chromium base will do the very same thing. So that's kind of the case there. So there is what I have to say on Google Chrome. Mark, I'll have it start with you to see what you want to mention here. Hey guys, I'm not reading the Jitsi chats right now. Stop emailing.
Resistance is futile.
Okay. I'm just saying, but yeah, all of the things that I'll just say this. Tom has a catalog of videos about with Google Chrome content in it, talking about Google Chrome and the selfish ledger. The stuff Google is doing is horrific. Mm-hmm. As an IT services provider, I would not use Google Chrome. The only way that I could see using Google Chrome is having the DuckDuckGo privacy add-on installed, mm-hmm. and maybe uBlock Origin just on top of it for blocking YouTube videos ads. But even though it's kind of redundant, but yeah, that company is so evil. The amount of data harvesting they are doing is obscene. Mm-hmm. They just made a move, which I'm sure is part of the selfish ledger, where now if you're using Google Chrome and you set a particular setting, and who knows if you even have to set that setting in the browser, you're opted in to the Google flock, what is it, of cohorts, they call it. Yeah. And the amount of data harvesting they are doing, it's designed from birth to grave. Mm-hmm. They want to track the next generation Z, and afterward, they want to track them from cradle to grave. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what they want to do.
And that is something that has changed since I did the web browser video at the beginning of the year. That is one of the new things. I had forgotten to mention it, so thanks for bringing that up. But yeah, Flock, which is so bad, even like woke Firefox is like, I ain't touching that. Salvu, what's your thoughts? Google Chrome.
I'm not using it, but I have tested it. A few friends who use it, and it's just a browser. It's Google Chromium. It effectively the Chromium browser with some Google proprietary add-ons and eye glance thingy, just gimmick for the user, and so I'm not touching it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dan.
Total spyware. Put that in a machine with Microsoft Windows, they will be fighting for your Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
To send data home. But I haven't used Chrome in, 3 or 4 years, because I hear all these things about it. I see people, having trouble with it, and the Flock thing. And I mean, basic news will tell you, get away from it. Don't touch it.
I'm proud to say I've never actually used Chrome as a regular browser.
I used Chromium for a short time when I first started my Linux adventure, and I'm like, well, Vivaldi works pretty good. Why do I need Chromium?
Yep, absolutely. Let me check in on comments, because I have completely neglected the YouTube comments, so my apologies, guys. There's not a ton of them though, so that's good news. Let's see. Got to get past the bacon discussion here. Do I show on OpenSUSE Leap 15.3? Maybe, if I get the chance. That does sound good. I'm trying to do a few more distro-y type things, so we'll see. Just install LibreWolf via app image, like it, but I can't seem to copy and paste. I'll need to look into that. Fedora Workstation has a great experience, but my sister likes Kubuntu and Farron OS. Well, of those two, definitely use Farron OS. Definitely better. I'm not saying that because Farron's on the stream. I'm saying that because it's a better browser or a better operating system. People don't know what it is. Brave. We'll get to Brave. Let's get to Brave after we're done with comments here. What is the fastest browser of the year? I don't know. I played with one the other day called Next, which is it's like a minimalist browser kind of based on Vim. You can imagine my day was bad.
I tested a fast browser that surprised me. Terminal browser. Browse. Brow SH, it's called. It is a text. It's a terminal browser, but it uses the Firefox as the back end, and in the terminal you can play YouTube videos, and you can so everything that a normal Firefox can do, you can do in a text browser.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
One note on speed. Okay, my internet is so slow, the browser speed don't matter because the bottleneck is going to be the internet.
Yeah, there you go. Anna Rita's on. Greetings, Anna Rita. Are you having cookies today, or is that tomorrow for the news? That might be tomorrow for the news.
Bacon-flavored cookies.
So sodium chloride asks, is there any browsers not based on Firefox and Chromium? Safari.
There you go.
Internet Explorer.
Yeah, that one's defunct, though. Internet Explorer and the old Edge also is also defunct. So, no, the monopolies are closing in. You know.
There's Gopher.
You going to go for this and go for that?
Gopher's a command line internet thing.
Yeah, that's not a browser. That's a different protocol.
Oh, it's like FTP.
Yeah, the old Opera browser had support for the Gopher protocol.
Mm-hmm. Browsers are making me lose my hair. Then they turn all evil. So yeah, that's the thing. Firefox and WaterFox. Of course, WaterFox is what we were recommending.
I think we're all doing the run around trying to run from the evil browser.
It is. That's exactly what it feels like. It's like, okay, what web browser? This is why we need an every 6 months web browser review.
I mean, WaterFox went evil, so, luckily they gave us Firewolf, which, or LibreWolf, which we could flop over to.
Yeah, and then hopefully we get more distros being able to package that soon. They should work better when you're not using the app image. Like I said, I can't use LibreWolf for the stream because it won't feed into OBS.
I'm using the Flatpak.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Have you tried the Flatpak?
I don't know. Maybe I'm using the Flatpak. I don't know which one I'm using. I'm either using the app image or the Flatpak. I don't remember.
The app image would be the easiest one that you just click on it and then poof, it all opens up. You got to do the Flatpak install thing.
I have mine integrated into my system. I just don't remember if I'm doing the Flatpak or if I'm doing the app image. I just can't remember. If you watch my video on LibreWolf, then you probably know more than I do about it. So. Vivaldi even works on ARM devices. Yes. Hate about browsers is you're trying to do something and your browser of choice does not do it, so you have to jump to the evil browser. Yes.
Evil browser.
If Chrome is a face hugger, which browser would be considered Ripley? LibreWolf. My volume is a bit low. I'll just talk louder, okay? My volume's actually maxed out on OBS, and maybe when I hit it, I actually turn the volume down a little bit. I could go up a little higher on the audio interface. That'll work. Well, you wouldn't hear the difference. You guys are listening to me on a different audio feed.
Yeah, it sounds good for me on the audio I'm using.
Monitoring looks good on OBS, but I did jack it up just a little bit just to see if that helps. Cookie bacon? Netscape, Gophers, Lynx, Firefox, Edge, Vivaldi. Where will it all end? Everyone will be on Chrome and Edge. What's the big deal with Flatpak? What do you mean, what's the big deal? So Flatpak is one of the 3 ways to package a application that has all of its dependencies with it. The other ones being Snap and App Images. Flatpak is a good even ground, middle ground, where it will update itself if you do system updates. And most distributions will support them. App Images you need to manually update for the most part. Snaps, the biggest problem with Snaps is they have a proprietary distribution and automatic upgrades. And
because of the way you got to install LibreWolf, you have to update it yourself. So you have to do a LibreWolf remove, and then you get your new Flatpak image thing, and then you go to your terminal and then install it.
Yep. All right, we hit the
bottom. Which is a pain in the butt to upgrade.
Right. We hit the bottom of the comments there. So let's go back and chat about Brave next.
Yay!
If I can push that button, right? Really? Oh, wait, hold on. I need those buttons. That's why. I pushed the wrong button combination. So Brave browser. This is an interesting one. Brave browser itself as a product has just demonstrated itself to be, for the most part, pretty good. They have had in the last 6 months or so a couple little scandalousy things. There was an affiliate code that was automatically filling, although it does appear evidence suggests that that was a bug. The biggest concern many of us have about Brave is the company behind it. They raised all of their funding with one marketing message and then sells the browser to the rest of the world with a different marketing message. That in and of itself to me is concerning enough that I'm like, I don't know. But what we can say is the product itself is solid. Built-in ad blockers, it does things really well. Basically, it's built on a Chromium base without a lot of the nonsense. The other more controversial thing it does is it does have the BAT, which is it Brave Access tokens, I think. It's a cryptocurrency tied into their system, and their original plan, what they told their investors is we're going to have a way to revolutionize the internet ad market. And then they turn around and tell us it's an ad blocking browser, and then they're integrating the BAT tokens, and somebody using Brave can enable this BAT tokens, and then they can indicate the creators that they're watching, whether it's on YouTube channels or on individual websites. They can say, well, I'm going to give some Brave tokens to these creators. And where the biggest controversial part is after they have accumulated approximately $100 worth of BAT tokens, then the Brave company reaches out and basically extorts the creators to say, hey, we have $100 for you here. You just have to sign up to our system, agree to our terms of service and things like that. And so that's kind of why I said I'm not using Brave. I will not use Brave. BAT tokens, I should say. Like the browser itself, I think is okay, but I'm not using BAT tokens. So if you're donating BAT tokens to switch to Linux, thinking it's going to help support switch to Linux, just please support another creator, because I'm not using it because I find it a little bit slimy and stuff. But again, the product, the browser itself is good. It works very well. That's actually the one I'm using to watch YouTube videos right now. The built-in ad blocker does a decent job, although lately ads are coming through again. I'm not sure why that would be, but they are. So for the most part, that's it. Go ahead, Mark.
Would that be a bait and switch, kind of?
Which BAT?
A weird way.
No. Classic extortion. We have money to give you. Do what we tell you to.
What is the leverage again?
What happens is when you use Brave, if you enable the BAT component of Brave, then you can go in there into your settings and you can specify which creators you want to directly support. You can pay money into the system, or you will get BAT tokens by simply browsing the internet. Because what Brave originally wanted to do is they wanted to block ads, but then have an opt-in to serve their ads on top of where the ads were, which is also extraordinarily slimy, because if I'm running a website and I'm an ad-supported website, you're stripping my ads off and then running on my ad-supported website, you're now adding your ads on top of it, and then you will come back to me and say, well, you have to join our network to get the ads that we blocked off of your website.
Yeah,
that's
that
what
is
I'm
dirty.
talking about, but that's very slimy.
Yeah, that I see clearly. That is dirty.
Yeah,
that's exactly what the Canadian cable companies did in the 1980s.
It's like they got their own gangster.
Yeah, and the thing is that the people behind Brave, they're not just privacy startup guys. These guys are big Silicon Valley tech players with huge amounts of VC capital. And so there's too many questions for me to completely trust them. But the browser itself is solid. The browser itself, I turn off the bat stuff and things like that. But that's kind of that. So, all right. So I'm going to open up thoughts for Dan. What are your thoughts?
Just because they're doing that makes me want to use something else.
Because of these things, I've never tried the Brave browser, because every time I get up the nerve to try and install it and see what it looks like, something comes out where, hey, they got their own gangster crew collecting crypto stuff to pay for it. And, there's a lot of that floating around underlying in the internet that pops up every now and then, which has kept me from really trying it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one worth trying. It's not an entirely bad product. As I said, I want to, and also let me convey this: the plan to scrub people's ads and run other ads on top of it, that's not something that they have actually implemented. It's just that's what they told their VCs they were going to target doing. So it might be something they do down the road. Or they dropped the plan. I don't know. In their original version, they had session replay, which is that horrible JavaScript library that spies on everything you do. If you type in a form and then decide, no, I don't want to type that in, they already have sent the information out to that form. They had that implemented into their earlier versions. They actually scrubbed it from their code when I brought attention to it. But the browser itself is not too bad. So, yeah.
I already got 3 browsers installed anyways. I'm pretty, hesitant to install any more stuff on my system, because I got it to where it just runs perfect every day. And I don't want to keep polluting it with more and more junk.
Yeah.
I mean, I got games in this thing. I got updated kernel. I got a manually installed NVIDIA driver that's like the latest version. It's too delicate, but it still works every day.
Absolutely.
I've done a lot of things to it you're probably not supposed to.
Salbu, any thoughts on your end on Brave?
I've tested it a couple of years ago, and I'm finding that I still prefer the way Firefox does things. So,
yeah, as Firefox as crazy as it is, at least it still has the ability to turn on and off pretty much everything.
Sabu, if you like Firefox, you can try LibreWolf, and you can import your profile into LibreWolf. It will do it. So everything you have for bookmarks and everything in Firefox will transfer over to LibreWolf.
Yeah, I can see if my distribution is packaging it. So
probably not. I don't know if any of that is.
No, it's kind of a weird thing.
MX Linux packages like more browsers than you imagine. I haven't looked, but do Flatpaks automatically update themselves? Generally, no, but depending on your distribution update might push a Flatpak update. So that's something to check on your distribution. If you're probably on Linux Mint, I think, Anarita. I think Linux Mint might have those in the package manager, but I can't remember because I don't use a lot of Flatpaks. I use more on Arch, which I have to manually do it. Yeah.
The way I have to do it is open a terminal and just type Flatpak update, and it'll bring up all the stuff that needs to be updated.
Yeah, that's what I do on Arch. Have us blokes discussed Safari this morning? No, but I am drinking my tea. No, we haven't really discussed Safari. Hey, Safari, it's Apple. I mean, what more can we say? They've actually done some decent things, though, in Safari. Definitely worth using if you do use Mac, but I'm not sure I'd use Mac just to use Safari. Brave doesn't suit you for whatever reason. Let's see. Same bat time, different bat. Never mind. Don't eat those bats. I hear bad things come out of them. You guys see the memes this week from Fauci. Who ate my bat sandwich in the refrigerator? I was saving that for later. Oh boy. Oh boy. Brave without bat and different ad blockers are phenomenal indeed. Wish someone had forked it. Yeah, so there's actually 2 forks of Brave. One of them was called Braver. They were sued because Brave to Braver is not different enough. And I'm not sure if the project is still going with it under a different name or if they've closed down. The other one was Dissenter Browser, which was based on Gab. It was basically Brave. They took out the garbage and then they put the Dissenter app auto-installed into it. To my knowledge, that has not been updated for a long time. And Andrew Torba of Gab at one point in time said, no, we built this Dissenter browser from ground up. And no, he didn't. He forked Brave. And so I'm not sure I'd recommend that just because it has been updated for a long time. But if I'm wrong and it has been updated, sure, have a look at it. It would be Brave without BAT tokens and stuff like that. Bobby Fried has tried Brave, but it was really resource hungry. Okay. Brave is the Bob Geldof of browsers. Is Bob Geldof the guy that played Pink in The Wall?
I don't know.
I think it is, honestly. So I'm not sure why Brave is the Bob Geldof of browsers. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Or does it just mean he shaves his eyebrows and his nipples? Is Vivaldi secure as Brave? I would probably say Brave is going to be more secure because it does not have any closed source components that I know of. Or does it? Does it have closed source components? I don't think it does. I think Brave is entirely open source. So if Brave is entirely open source, then it will be more secure, in my opinion.
Then you have open BAT tokens.
Flatpak has no auto update functionality. All right. Distributions like Mint force running Flatpak's update command by default. Yeah, that's what some distributions may do that, which you can disable it. Mitchell, how's it going there? For people who like to use many browsers, Sparky has the most browsers in its repos. Okay, so Sparky. Use either IceCat, Vivaldi, or Firefox, depending on what you're doing. All right. Ozzy eats bats. It was just one, and it was just an accident. I read his autobiography. He did comment on eating bats. I mean, people were throwing plastic animals on him. He picked something up, bit it, and it was a real bat. So that was an accident, but yes, it did happen.
Just like Alice Cooper threw a live chicken out in the audience, and the audience threw all the pieces back at him.
Oh, boy. Just want to say hello. Thank you for your content. All right, Caesar. Thank you, Caesar. Caesar CJ. Is my cat king all of a sudden? Kitty. I should call him Caesar now. Let's see, Dan. I just typed sudo flatpak update, and it said looking for updates. Nothing to do. Yeah, if you're on Linux Mint, I think as Farron says that it does update. It does. Linux Mint does force the updates, I think, but you can disable it. Sued to crud fork and hate speech fork. I wouldn't call Dissenter a hate speech fork. I would say Dissenter is more free speech fork.
Yeah, I like Dissenter browser a lot. I'll probably return to it.
Has it been updated? That's what I've heard last, and I haven't had a chance to look.
I don't know. Is it in active development still? If it hasn't been updated in a while,
I don't know.
that begs the question: is the developer getting tired of,
Yeah. Let's address this, what Hank says, because it is a better criticism of the Dissenter browser. You do not want to set a precedent with Dissenter. If anything is worse than BAT, it is automatic social media callbacks. That is true. I did forget about that until you mentioned that. Yes. So the problem with Dissenter, the Dissenter plugin, if you're installing it onto a browser, or Dissenter browser itself with the Dissenter plugin, Dissenter, if you're unfamiliar with it, it is a system that allows anybody with a Gab account to comment on anything on the internet. The problem is that the application itself will cause a pingback to Gab's servers on every single article you're doing. So in theory, Gab could track down everything you're doing. And if you follow Andrew Torba, that may not be a good thing, because he seems to have at times a God complex and a crazy person complex. And I'm not sure that I want the owner of a server with a God complex and a crazy person complex having access with everything I'm doing on the internet. So, yeah, that is another reason to not use Dissenter. Yes,
it sounds oddly familiar with a plugin that was mentioned half a year ago or so. When the BLM movement really took off, and they made a plugin where you could could comment on a website or a user profile on some social media, and write that this person is not supporting our cause and so on, and it would only be visible to those having that plugin.
Yeah.
Wow. I won't be using
Bob
Dissenter
Geldof
then.
apparently was a notorious scam artist. Is he not the same musician? I'll have to look that up. Mr. Tech Guy says there is a restaurant called Wuhan. Ever visit it? No. Your cat does not like the live stream. No, actually, this cat does like the live stream. The other cat does not. Strawberry Shortcake, please say hello to Dr. Quantum Alpha, who is a little bit busy to be on the stream right now. We are coming up on 8 o'clock, so do we want to do another browser, or are we good from here?
I have a browser that I check out from time to time. Otter browser. It is a browser who is taking aim to Otter, OTTER.
Oh, Otter.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Otter.
Yeah, and it started solely because of when Opera changed the old-fashioned user interface. And there were some people who really liked the old interface, so they made an open source version, and they are replicating the user interface and how it functions with the shortcut keys and everything. So I've been checking it out from time to time.
Thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Problem as far as I'm concerned, but I haven't checked it in a few years, so I might check it again.
I will definitely check that out tonight. I'm going to switch out a couple. I'm going to get off of Firefox.
Yeah,
if it works out, I'll put it on my client's machine, see what they think.
Yeah, I used the old Opera browser for 15 years, and I really like that way of
it. Really good, yeah.
Yeah, one of the problems I've had with some of the older browsers was some of the web technologies I have to program in just don't work with it. So it'd be interesting if I can give that a try. Yeah, all right. We're pretty much gone through most of the comments as well as we've gone on. So I think we'll just kind of do our final words. I am not streaming on the Christian channel tonight. I'm going to use the time to either work on the super secret project, and I haven't decided yet. So, but I'll figure that out soon. So anyway, there's that. Salboof, what are your final words?
Yeah, since this is about browsers, about 20 years ago, there was a user in a Norwegian IRC channel who he was out of a job, and he had been out of a job for so long that his social security checks were coming to an end, and he got the work department had an offer for him. So he spent 9 months in Tanzania in the Haydom hospital, and the internet line was double ISDN, and there were 500 users on that double ESDN line. And he had a hard time reading normal websites. So he asked for a shell account on my server, and he used a Perl script on a very simple page to fetch the page and strip every modern technology and just the text and no images, and he used that for 9 months.
Nice. There you go. That's a little hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's serious stuff.
Dan, what are your final words?
Well, I think we've covered most of the popular ones, the ins, the outs, the good, the bad, the ugly, the evil, the whole 9 yards, really.
Yeah.
You know, I use, 3 browsers. I use Firefox mainly only for streaming services like Hulu and Netflix and stuff like that, because that gives me the Widevine DRM decoder that's required to watch those. Other than that, I don't use it for anything else. I switched over to LibreWolf. It's kind of a pain in the butt when it uploads, when it updates. You actually have to go get the update from their website because it doesn't come from FlatHub. And go to your downloads folder, uninstall the old version and install the new version, and then it's fine again. But as for web browsers goes, you got our take on them, and that's really all I have to say about that.
Mark, final words.
Okay, you can check me out on Yates Networks, and also I have a personal covers channel, America's Finest, that you can check me out there. Thanks everybody for coming and hearing us out. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
All right. Well, since we are not doing the Christian stream, we're going to tempt the kitty cat, and he's just like squirming all over the place now. Yeah, oh yeah, buddy. Come on up here.
Yummy, yummy.
Come on up here, kitty. Here you go. Oh.
That guy likes his treats.
Yeah. No.
Look at that. The cat is
Oh, fine. The other one showed up here as well. Dude,
Yeah.
why? They're up here, not down there, you dummy. All right, I got to see if I can get him distracted. No, this one here. Well, you get yours. And then distract him with licking my finger.
For once, the cat was actually looking at the camera when eating.
That's a good position. And trying to think if I hope the other cat got her kitty treat. It looks like she probably did. We had a double catter, but I'm not in a position right now to have the other one up. So
One of the recent Louis Rossmann videos was a short video about his 2 cats and three cats, I think he has, and the different personalities. And one of the cats is always chasing every other cat away when there are some treats around, and he has to do everything.
Yeah.
I like the way he gets Mr. Clinton to actually meow every time he makes a comment about something.
Meow. That's right. I get the other one to meow. This one doesn't. So, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Tomorrow, weekly news roundup. See you guys there, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as usual. And we will see you guys later.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you.